All right, Steve, we're kind of making a trend of this. We're throwing the VR headsets on again this week, and we're checking out a pretty awesome shooter, Larcenauts.
All right, Captain. I got the intel.
Good. Now take it to the uplink.
All right, Steve, like I said, we're tossing the VR headsets on again this week. You and I have been playing quite a few VR games over the last few weeks, and honestly, I'm having a blast. I kind of like playing a lot of VR, especially all in kind of a row, because I don't pull the headset out all that often when I'm playing on the console or the PC. So we got to check out Larcenauts this week, which is actually kind of an arena-based shooter. And this one is kind of not really like any shooter I've played. It's very fast-paced in the gameplay, and it's done in a way where it feels like we're playing kind of an Overwatch-style game. It's 6v6. There's multiple game modes, multiple heroes with abilities, and all different kinds of things here. There's a lot offering as far as what Impulse Gear is giving us with this game. We are getting kind of an advanced roadmap. This game has been out for several months now, and over the last probably 3 or 4 months, they've made steady gameplay improvements. They've listened to the community, and kind of getting into this one, Steve, I actually had a lot of fun, and I think that we're getting into this now, a few months past release, that we're getting kind of a better picture of what this game really is. What did you think jumping into Larcenauts?
Well, again, this is now our second time, for me, second first-person shooter.
Yeah.
And first off, I love the art style.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that kind of Fortnite, kind of that the characters,
Yep.
that cartoon kind of effect. But when you start off in the hub, we talked about it a little bit earlier, and they've done an amazing job on the hub. It's very easy to go to different parts, whether it's upgrade or go to the store and things like that. You just grab the little remote or the clicker, and then you hit the button and you just point to what you want to do. And then I just think it is a lot of fun. And then for me as well, then jumping into the game, I didn't have many issues. It's quite quick on the loading screen to jump you straight into the game. You might sometimes jump halfway through a match that's already started.
Yeah.
So like you might get killed, and then all of a sudden you have to wait for the next match. But I found the flow of the movement really good and quite fluent as well. I had no issues at all on that front.
Nice. Actually, yeah, movement, again, because I play with the Cosmos Elite headset, I have the touchpad controllers, whereas you play with the Oculus and you have the joysticks, which I think in a game like this, having a joystick is actually a competitive advantage, because I always find movement with the touchpads to be a little kind of janky sometimes, and in a game where maneuverability is everything, it did take me a little bit of getting used to kind of figure out how they wanted me to use those particular controllers for this game. But honestly, overall, I had a lot of fun. I really liked the shooting mechanics. They did a pretty good job with having kind of this quick one-touch reload where there's a bit of a funky animation depending on which character you are. They kind of have a stylistic reload, which I did kind of like. I had seen some people talk about it being a bit of an issue because it feels like it kind of removes you a little bit because you're not doing any of those motions yourself. It's just kind of an automatic thing on screen. But outside of those few kind of animations you don't control, the movement and the control you do have over the character is really cool. There's kind of these quick grapple points that get you around the map really quickly, and you can get those flanks on the different teams. And I just actually had a blast because the game modes they give you right off the bat, we got 3 originally at launch, and they have added one in since then, and it's kind of like a domination where there's 3 points you capture and hold those points to gain points. We have kind of a capture the flag uplink type game mode, and then also there was the 6v6 team deathmatch, and they've most recently added a payload game mode, which is essentially escorting a vehicle from one point to the other while the other team basically tries to stop you along the way, which they've done a really good job because that map they added in for that looks amazing. And like you said, the graphics is really what gets me here because you're moving around these maps so quick, but everything does look really good, really solid. I didn't have any real graphical glitches. A couple times when missions are I guess heists, they call them heists in this game, load in. It was a little kind of, screen drop, frame droppy a little bit, but at the same time, it cleared up really quickly, and then I had no issues throughout the match. They give you a lot of control options when you go into the menus. There's lots of graphical and audio options as well, so you can really tailor the experience to the headset that you are using, which I really, really liked here. Honestly, Steve, I had a ton of fun playing this game. I don't have too many bad things to say about it. If there's anything you had to maybe give it a knock on, do you got anything you want to touch on there?
No, I had slight lagging issues, but that was only because we were trying to record a bit of game footage, obviously, for our review. But I did try it without recording, and I had no lag issues. I do like the idea of having like 9 characters that you can unlock as you progress through the game, and it will be a grind to unlock them. But like most games, it's always a hit and miss on who you get to play with. This is definitely something, if you can get your squad or your friends and have that communication, because each character has different abilities, whether it's to heal you or certain things, and it's all about the teamwork. And as we sort of mentioned earlier, we played with a bunch of randoms. Some of them didn't have mics on, and I just found like a rogue fighter going off on my own kind of thing, which you get that in a lot of games, but it didn't put me off this game, because at the end of the day, the audio I thought was really cool as well with it, the little voiceovers in your ear kind of thing.
Oh yeah, they did a good job with
your
all
characters
that stuff.
And stuff like that. So it is a lot of fun, and you will be expected to sort of go out on your own, really, if you don't group up with your buddies.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, Steve, we've been running around playing Larcenauts, and honestly, I think we both had a pretty good time playing this arena shooter. It's one of the more kind of polished shooter, multiplayer games I've played on VR up to this point. If you had to score Larcenauts out of 10, what are you going to give it?
Well, I'm definitely jumping back into this one, because the more and more I played, the more I wanted to sort of get the points to upload and upgrade certain weapons and things like that. So I'm giving this an 8.
Oh, nice. You know what? I think if we would have originally done this game when it first came out, I think my score would be a little bit lower. But you know what? The devs have done a good job supporting the community and this game by making improvements, in the short period of time, the last 6 months that this game has been out. So they definitely get a few good points from me there. Honestly, I just had too much fun playing this game. I'm right there with an 8 as well.
The enemy is downloading the data. You have 3 minutes.
Great team shooter that has lots of upgrading and characters with unique abilities. Definitely has a good variety of game modes as well as levels, but sometimes that computer AI could definitely be a little bit better.
So, what we're gonna do with the intel?
We need it for the job, the heist, larceny.
Larceny? More like